Hello, everybody. This is my review of Mortal Kombat 2021 premiering on HBO Max. Yeah, to sum up my thoughts, B movie. It was a fine film. It was okay. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but to just give a rundown for those who aren't familiar with the franchise, Mortal Kombat in this film is a video game adaptation, right? It's coming from a franchise that's made its mark through fighting, different elaborate characters and fatalities, gruesome and very elaborate deaths. And a lot of these characters are iconic. I mean, they have over 100 characters in this franchise that they can, use and pick for players to use as they see fit. That being said, for whatever reason, this movie exists and introduces new characters and does so in a boring and uninteresting way. And so where the B movie starts to set in is in how the plot progresses, the dialogue. Some of the fights are even off. This is a Mortal Kombat movie. How are the fights somehow boring or at least too short? And then you have just characters and not characters, but you have actors and, there's their performances that don't really stand out, if that makes sense. They're not, gripping me. I don't really care as much. So I was left feeling a little underwhelmed, but, I am somewhat new to the franchise, haven't played every single game, so there was probably a lot of lore that I missed, and probably a lot of Easter eggs that I even missed, but I understood the concept that I know of the fatalities. And even so, it's good to see an adaptation, but I don't know if this adaptation moves in the right direction, more so than it just follows kind of the video game curse. That being, it's a B movie quality. So much so, I don't even know how it would have came out in theaters, but that's besides the point. The movie stars Hiroki Sanada as Scorpion, Louis Tan, Cole Young, Makata Brooks as Jax, Tadano Nubu Asano as Raiden, and Ingjin Chan Hang as Shang Tsung. I mention those actors specifically because those are the only faces I recognized in this film. Once again, B movie. But essentially, it goes through the story of Scorpion and his legacy and his family, and has a great opening fight, great opening scene with him and his backstory. The fight was awesome, the gore was awesome, it all made sense, and frankly, there wasn't a lot of talking, so the B movie did not start to set in. But once you get past his beginning story and you start to progress into the modern day, that's when you start to notice just these B-movie tropes with the type of characters that they're portraying, the performances, and the dialogue. Like, we all, just from the beginning, right? You can just tell that that family is there to be used as a token of some sort so that he is, for the main character. That family is not there to make the main character relatable. Is not there to make the main character anything more than just a father that is, protective over his family. And it's things like that, missed opportunities. If you're going to introduce a character, especially in a franchise like Mortal Kombat, introduce a very good backstory, because every character in Mortal Kombat, every character has a good backstory, and this guy did not. So we follow this guy, the father, Cole Young, and kind of his journey from trying to protect his family, which then turns into a journey of protecting the world. And it's that transition that doesn't really compute with me. Just the motivation for him to do that versus just focus on his family solely. They tried to allude to it with saying, yes, I must protect the world because my family is a part of it. But he's obviously not equipped for it. He really has not shown anything in the movie to say that he is heroic. It's mainly he fights, he gets beat up and he does it to make money. And then all of a sudden he flips the script and he's fighting and he's trying to be a heroic leader, fighting against the villains of the story. And to me, it just didn't work. But all that to say, he starts off as a fighter that's getting beat and getting, just the snot kicked out of him. And he's just trying to provide for his family. He then learns about his true legacy, which you saw with Scorpion's background and his And he decides to train and get powerful so that he can protect his family, albeit protecting the world. And during these trainings and during these instances where he's finding how to find the trainers and find the different tournament masters, etc., he gains, some more skill set. Doesn't even do a montage. He just gains the skill set. And he finds these characters along the way that we all know and love from the video games to fight with. It didn't work for me. Yeah, it didn't work. Kano was definitely the standout. Let me say that. Kano was the standout. His performance was good. He was funny. His dialogue made sense and it was on point with the character. So, if they were to do another one, definitely bring Kano back. Going on to the story, though, like I said, the beginning and end are great. The middle part of where he trains, that being Cole Young trains, where he gets his, where he loses one of his friends and where he gets his powers. None of that was really super interesting. It was cool to see the characters along the way, but his arc was not interesting. Then we get to the end fight where it loops back in with his ancestor, Scorpion. And they get to finish the fight that was started in the beginning of the film, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, what everyone came to see. And it is a great fight, and it's handled very well. I can't say anything bad about it. So the movie goes back and forth. If you can get anything from this review, it goes back and forth between being good, let's say 8 to 9, and then mediocre, 4 to 5 on a 10 scale. So it just kind of, for me, leaned more on the mediocre aspects just because so much of the movie took place in the middling parts instead of the action sequences at the beginning and end. So, for me, the movie is a 6 out of 10, which, by all respects for a video game adaptation, is not that bad. Not at all. Is it better than... Let's just throw out a video game adaptation, even if it's not related to the subject. Let's throw out Tomb Raider. Is it better than Tomb Raider? I'm going to say on par with Tomb Raider, and that's going to be a 6. Not too good, or at least has very high points, and then the rest of the movie is not too good. Let me know what you think. I know it was a weird question, but is this film better than Tomb Raider to you? I mean, some of the action sequences were pretty cool, but I'm not so sure if it's that much better just because of the two. Well, thank you all. Please comment or subscribe, and check out the sister or twin or brother channel, Our Stories.